We're going to start off in Platyhelminthes. This class, we didn't really talk about the different classes too much, so I'm not super stressed about them. But this is a Turbellaria. So in the class Turbellaria, again in the phylum Platyhelminthes. So this is an acoelomate. This is a marine worm. See right here, it is on a sponge. This is another example of Platyhelminthes in Turbellaria. These are going to be a terrestrial organism. This is a land planarian. And it's hard to tell, but it is, again, it's an acoelomate, so it's going to be super flat. You're going to be looking at some live samples of aquatic brown planarians, but again, they're going to be extremely flat. Here's a nice cross-section of a Turbellarian. So we can see there isn't really a cavity here. We have our flame cells that are going to be used for our excretion of water. We have some cilia on the outside. We also have our longitudinal and our circular muscles throughout. Here's an example of a fluke, which is in class Trematoda. So it's a trematode. They have both male and female organs, so these are hermaphroditic organisms. They have a really interesting life cycle. It's going to be a liver fluke, so it needs both human hosts and fish and snails. So it's a really interesting parasitic organism. Here we have a blood fluke. This is actually a male and a female worm. The male lives inside the female. So they stay together for almost their entire life cycle. We're just going to breeze through this. So here we have a tapeworm, which is our first organism in the class Cestoda. So these get really, really long and very flat. The way they grasp onto the inside of the intestine is with a structure called a scolex. And I'm not worried that you understand that. This is what we might think of as their head. It's got a sucker mouth and these hooks, and it grasps on. What does it use that sucker mouth and hooks for?
To latch onto the intestine walls.
Latch onto the intestine walls. Why does it not use it for feeding?
It diffuses through.
Yeah, it only uses to grab onto the walls so it doesn't get flushed away. And it doesn't need to consume through what we might think of as the mouth because it's absorbing those nutrients from the skin. Here are some tapeworm cysts. I'm not too worried about them. We know this. Here we have a roundworm. So what phylum do we think a roundworm is going to be in? It's Nematoda, yeah, because we're going to, like the word implies, it's round. It's not going to be our flat acoelomates. Here we have nematodes inside of a dog intestine. So these are a pretty classic set of worms. When your dog often has worms, if you've heard of it, it's going to be a nematode. This is hookworm. How many of you have heard of that? Yeah, this is a real problem. These are worms underneath the skin of I believe that's the knee, and here's the calf of a human. Here we have guinea worm. Has anyone heard of guinea worm? So guinea worm, again, let's see if we can get a little better. It will erupt from the skin, and you can't just tug on it and pull it out because you will break it off and kill the organism, but it'll be inside your body still and decay, and you'll get really bad infections. So what they have to do instead is they wind it around a stick that you then carry with you for months because you need to slowly pull it out. Has anyone heard of a caduceus, the symbol, before?
Is that the snake on a stick?
Yeah, the snake on a stick. It's that medical symbol you see EMTs have, or a lot of medical professions. There's a lot of debate as to where that symbol comes from, but one possibility that people have brought up is that is not really a snake, it's a guinea worm being wrapped around a staff. I'm going to turn the lights on, watch your eyes. All right, so we make it to our annelids. So those are going to be our earthworms and our leeches. We're not going to worry about our marine annelids too much. Here is a leech. We don't have any live examples today. I believe the manual is going to tell you to look at some. Unfortunately, we don't have any, but you will be able to see some. Here's a marine leech, which are really cool. Here we have a nice example of earthworm anatomy. I don't think, as pretty as I think that diagram is, I don't think it's super useful, but we do have a really nice earthworm model, which is very wobbly, so be careful with it, but you'll be able to see what they cross-section in a lateral view, which is really nice, and we have the key here, as always. All right, let's go through this quickly, because I know you guys are getting sort of having enough of this. All right, well that is it. That's nice. All right, questions about